Okay. Hello everyone, yes. This is going to be another tank review, and this time of the 43M Toldi III, which is the free tank that they gave us in 2015 for Christmas. It wasn't really free, you had to win a game, which, even in World of Tanks, shouldn't be that difficult to do. You're bound to win one game sooner or later, and they had it running for a long time. So yeah, you're bound to have got this. And what a lot of people probably would have done is just gone, oh, free tank, free garage slot for me, thank you very much, quickly sell. But really, you should check this tank out. 230 hit points is a large amount for tier 3. Well, comparable to my tier 3s. It's a bit on the low side, but comparable to some of my tier 3s, it's 10 or 20 higher or something. So it may be on the small amount of hit points, but it's enough. It is, after all, only tier 3. It weighs less than 10 tons, which is very impressive, which means that although it only has a 155 horsepower engine, it does go at 45 kilometers an hour top speed with a 45 hull traverse speed, and it has a horsepower per ton ratio of 16.23, which is, although not that good, it's average. It's alright. It'll get you up hills. You may not be going as fast as you may want, but at least you're going up the hill quicker than something like the Panzer S35 or something, which only has 11 horsepower per ton ratio. So, yeah. As for the armour, 35 at the front, 13 at the sides, and 10 at the rear of the hull, with 35 at the front and 25 the rest of the way around the turret. And the front of the turret, where the gun mantlet is, it can be a troll zone. You can absorb and bounce shots off of the front of your turret, but then again, you're only tier 3. So, and then as for the 35 hull armor at the front, if I just do a thing here, as for the front of the hull here, you would think that because it is sloped here, that would give a lot of ricocheting and bouncing. However, if I go here, the actual front sloping is only really 30 millimeters at the front here. The real 35 and bits of armor is really this tiny wee section here. That's all that's 35 at the front of the hull, really. Because I'm here on my phone looking at Armour Inspector, and I've got my Panzer II up, and really what is 35 millimeters is not this front sloping bit here. It's really the bit above that, so this section up here is the bit that's 35 millimeters. So although this bit may be sloped, you're not going to get any effective armor out of it, really, unless you're at a very, very acute angle such as this, where it will be an automatic bounce anyway. Really, if you're going head-on, this bit will be penetrated, because that amount of armor there is only 29 to 30 millimeters thick, which will give machine guns and very, very like tier 1 flat guns, like the thing on the Panzer II-D, it will only give them real problems. Panzer S35 can penetrate. The Gob Tractor will be able to penetrate, or at least do some damage with its high explosive. 38 millimeters with high explosive. That'll go straight through the front of your Toldi III if it's shooting it here. The T70 will definitely penetrate. The BT7 artillery, even though it's highly inaccurate, it still has 38 millimeters of penetration with the high explosive. So yeah, all of these things can penetrate the front of your Toldi III at that sloping area. I mean, I did think that, oh, it's sloping, it'll give a lot more effective armor than 35. No, this bit is not 35 millimeters. I don't know how much armor it is, but it only gives 31 even at that sloping. So yeah, as for the front of it, it's only really this bit that's 35. At the front of the turret, though, the rounded sloping, again, it's very misleading, this armor. Really, what's 35 is the gun mantlet. Here, where it slopes, you would think, oh, it's sloping, but no, it's only 32 millimeters right here. And as for the other side, it's sort of like an automatic ricochet. So, but for the front of the Toldi III, it's like 48 millimeters of thickness. Yeah, coming up to 50 millimeters of thickness of the front gun mantlet. So that is decent for the front of the gun. So going hull down in this tank will be very beneficial to you. Um, so the armor is slightly misleading, but yeah. Moving on from the misleading armor, moving on to this, which is the 40mm 37/42 ML45 gun, which this tank is Hungarian, so this is a Hungarian gun. 40 millimeters with a 15 rounds per minute rate of fire, which isn't very good compared to these other tier 3s, which have a much faster rate of fire, such as, well, the Panzer S35 has got a 27.63 rate of fire. The Gob Tractor has got a 10.91, but then again, it's more like a howitzer. The T70 has got 24 rounds of fire, rounds per minute. 12.5 for the BT7 artillery. The M3 Light has got 24 rounds per minute rate of fire, and the Somya has got 20 rounds per minute. So, and those are all larger caliber than this 40mm, so it doesn't have a very good rate of fire. However, the average penetration is very good, 64, which means that you can penetrate the front of Su-76s, or Su-76Is rather. So, yeah, with 80 with the premium ammo, which is armor piercing, another type of armor piercing. Yeah, so you got two choices of armor piercing and high explosive, and high explosive only has 20 millimeters of penetration. So yeah, which is only 3 less than the Panzer IID's gun. So it just goes to show. Average damage is only 45 because that's comparable to the Matilda's gun, comparable to other 40mm guns, and 60 with high explosive. But it's high explosive, small caliber high explosive, not going to do much. The dispersion is not really that good, 0.43, and the aiming time is fairly fast, 2.1 seconds, and it weighs quite not very much, 136 kilograms. But yeah, it's that rate of fire is the thing that really does in this gun, because if you look at the Matilda's gun here, it has a 28.57 rounds per minute rate of fire on this 2-pounder, which is again 40mm, and it has very good penetration, and it does more damage, and is more accurate and has better aiming time, but weighs slightly more. And even with the stock 2-pounder, here we go, that still has a 28.57 rounds per minute rate of fire, which could be because it's tier 4, but yeah, your Toldi III isn't going to get the 1.77 seconds reload time that the Matilda has. So yeah, and also you can't fit a gun rammer, which is okay. Then again, not many things down at tier 3 can fit a gun rammer. Gun rammer, no. Gun rammer, no. Gun rammer, no. Nope. BT7 artillery, gun rammer, no. M3 Light, no. And Somya, gun rammer? No. So, yeah, tier 3s don't really get gun rammers, so you can't really bring that up apart from having improved vents, which is, yeah. So, anyway, the gun is alright. It's pretty inaccurate, and it doesn't have a very quick rate of fire, but it has decent penetration. Turret traverse is 30, which is not really that good. It's a bit on the slow side, and it doesn't really have that good view range or signal range. Although the signal range, view range is pretty standard with tier 3s here. What did it have? 270 meter view range. Oh, actually, the M3 Light is a light tank, and it's not a really good light tank because it has terrible view range and terrible signal range. But even that has better view range than the Toldi III, which, yeah, the Toldi III doesn't really have very good view range, and the signal range could be better. But then again, it isn't a German radio, and the Germans have pretty good radios. Look at the Gob Tractor, except for the Gob Tractor, which doesn't have a very good radio. It's Fugt 6, which is only a tier 4 radio. But Germans generally have pretty good radios, but this is a Hungarian tank, so it has a Hungarian radio, which is not really particularly good compared to the German ones. So that's the basic stats for the tank here. Um, as for these things, the consumables, you can of course equip your small repair kit, your small first aid kit, and your manual fire extinguisher. So I'm going to go ahead and put them on. Yeah. Um, as for your equipment, you have a choice of 7 equipment. Actually, no, a choice of 8. A choice of 8 equipment slots. Improve vents you'll probably want to get, yeah, because to get that reload time down, etc., etc. Light spore liner probably don't want to equip that because even though yes, you have pretty good front turret armor for the gun mantlet, your hull armor isn't very good, and it's only tier 3, and it's only 35 millimeters anyway, so probably hold off on that. Caminet probably not going to be as useful because you could snipe with this tank, I suppose, but the .43 dispersion is the thing that tells me no, probably don't want to get the Caminet. Wet Amarak, if you want, if your Amarak keeps getting damaged. Binoculars, probably not, because, like I said, the dispersion you probably don't want to really go as a sniper. Coated optics is always useful, so sure, get that view range up. Enhanced gun lane drive, you don't necessarily need it, but then again, if you're 2.1 seconds, if you don't like that, then sure, go for the gun lane drive. And toolbox is always useful. So that's for the equipment. Now moving on to the crew. It's a crew of 3. You have your commander slash radio operator, which I am going with signal boosting to get that radio range up, because that's always useful. Situational awareness is always useful, and it will probably help on this tank. So yep, definitely situational awareness. Call for vengeance if you want. Relay as well if you want. Probably hold off on relay though because your radio range isn't particularly good. Sixth sense is always useful, so sure, sixth sense. Eagle eye is always useful. Jack of all trades if you want. I'd say it probably benefits crews with bigger crews probably, but sure if you want. Recon is definitely going to help this tank, and mentor I don't usually find useful. So, and then you've got your common things, and now you've got your gunner slash loader. So I am training him in Deadeye because Deadeye is always useful. Safe stowage if you want, if your ammo keeps getting damaged. Adrenaline rush. Um, if you want, that's always a useful thing. I always find adrenaline rush. It's what I go with. Intuition. You probably don't need to load up that many. Armor piercing shells, well, premium AP shells, because your standard AP has pretty good penetration. So, but then again, if you do want to be a wallet warrior and use them premium rounds a lot, then sure, go with intuition. Designate target if you want, sure. That's like 2/3 of your reload time, 2 seconds. So sure, if you want. Improve the accuracy of a damage gun. If you want, if you really don't want to use a repair kit, sure. Improves turret accuracy during turret rotation. If you want, you don't really have that good rate. You don't really have that good accuracy anyway, and your turret traverses pretty slowly, comparable to other tier 3s. But sure, if you want. Then you've got your common skills. And finally, your driver. I am going with smooth ride, or off-road driving rather, because off-road driving is always useful. Clutch braking, if you want to be even more mobile, then sure, clutch braking, but I'd say hold off on getting that for your first skill. If you keep getting set on fire, then sure, preventive maintenance. If you want to shoot on the move, you don't really have that good accuracy anyway, but sure, smooth ride if you want. And controlled impact if you're ramming stuff, maybe, but if you are ramming stuff, then you don't really have that good hull armor actually hitting the target, so probably hold off on that. And that is the Toldi III. Overall, this is actually one of the more decent of the 3 tanks that Wargaming has given us. It has a decent gun. It doesn't have a particularly fast reload time. After all, it is only a 40mm. It should have better rate of fire, but what can you do? And the aiming time is alright. It could be better, but alright. And overall, you could probably do well in a hold down position. So, yeah, I will thank you for watching, and goodbye.